Are you thinking about selling your home for sale by owner? If so, give me a minute to try and talk you out of it. If it doesn't work, the next video will be down below on all the ways to do it yourself. How's it going? I'm Brian Castro with eXp Realty and callcastro.com, and today we're going to talk about why I think no one really should do a for sale by owner. I'm an agent, I'm biased, I know, but I see a lot of for sale by owners. I talk to a ton of them. So when I'm giving this advice, it's not just something I'm pulling out of the air. It's stuff that I've seen in person that really comes from my heart and a place to help, right? I want to help people do better and make money and move on to the next portion of their life with as much money in your pocket as we possibly can. So the first thing we need to talk about before we talk about any other aspect of this adventure is the current market. Where we're at, we have the lowest inventory in history. If you're looking at selling a house, right now is the time. Average days on market's 3. Average asking price is going up, it seems like daily. If you want to do it yourself, this is probably the easiest time anyone will ever have doing it themselves. Keeping that in mind, about 90% of buyers, if not more right now, are working with realtors because it is so hard to find a house. When a house hits the market, they have to go that day, which means they have a realtor on standby. So you're probably going to have to work with realtors. You're probably going to have to communicate with them and put up with their calls because at least 90% of buyers are going to be using realtors. So the first problem for sale by owners is that it costs a ton of time. On average, people are going to spend between 3 and 5 hours every week that the home is on the market. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on what you're doing. You've got to get the pictures done and ready. You've got to make sure the home is staged. You have to answer the phone every time a potential buyer is calling. You need to make the showings well. You have to clean the house. There's so much involved in getting this all done and done properly that you're probably going to need to take at least 3 to 5 hours, sometimes more than that, every single week to make sure this whole thing is successful. Not everyone has that much time, and most people, when they're doing this, they have a habit of cutting corners on time in exchange for trying to save the money, right? But if you're trying to sell the home, you really can't skimp on the time. Every time you miss a phone call, that's a chance that you're going to be missing a showing. Every time that you put the home up without professional photos, that's people that could have bought your home, they're skipping over it because the photos aren't good. You have to put in the time. Problem number 2 with for sale by owners. It costs a lot of money. Now I know what you're going to say, but realtors are expensive. They charge between 5 and 6%-ish on average, right? I hear you. But when people see things for sale by owner, it's a lot like seeing, well, anything else for sale by owner, right? You see a car that's for sale by owner, I can go to Great Deal, there's no dealership. You see something on Craigslist for sale by owner, fantastic, it's going to be a great deal. When they look at your home, they're not looking to pay a premium. They're looking to get a great deal. So whatever your home is worth, take some money off that, and that's the price that a for sale by owner buyer is willing to pay. Now this is a problem because in the grand scheme of things, 5% on a home really isn't that much. So if someone coming in to buy a for sale by owner is looking to pay $10 or $20, even $50,000 less on the home, you've just lost all that money you saved just on the sale of the home. So you've got to be really, really careful with trying to sell it yourself and saving money. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes it does for some people, but for a lot of people when selling for sale by owner, they're actually losing money. The next part of for sale by owner that is really expensive that people don't think about is you're going to have to get all the stuff that your realtor will normally get for you for free. You have to get the sign, you're going to have to get the lockbox, you're going to have to get keys copied, you're going to have to get all the marketing done, the photography done. If you're doing 3D, you're going to have to get that done too. Granted, is that cheaper than hiring a realtor? Yes. But when we combine the other point and also the marketing, how much money are we actually saving? So for most people, even though they think that they're going to be making money by not hiring a realtor, turns out to be a lot more expensive. The third thing you're missing out on when you are selling for sale by owner, you don't have advice. Anyone else that hires a realtor has a professional in their corner that they can bounce ideas off of, get advice from, and be guided through the whole process. For example, if they come back and they say, hey, we really want the whole roof replaced. Is that valid? Should we say yes to that? Should we say no to that? When someone comes in with a price that's $10,000 below asking, is that a good deal? I mean, don't get me wrong, you can ask your friends, but if you've hired a realtor, you have someone who's done this at least 10 times a year, sometimes more than that, telling you what their advice is based on their entire history of all the homes that they've sold. This gives you the best opportunity to negotiate and the best opportunity to get the most for your home while also not getting taken advantage of. And the fourth and biggest problem with for sale by owners that we kind of covered earlier is that most buyers are going to completely ignore your home. If you are offering commission to realtors, you'll get some attention, but you have to understand that realtors really do work hard for their money, even if you don't see it, even if you don't believe me. So when we go to for sale by owner, if you're offering only commission to buyer side or even no commission at all, you have to understand the realtors are approaching this from the idea that they're going to have to basically do both sides of the transaction because you don't know what you're doing for half the money. On top of that, a lot of buyers won't trust you if it's for sale by owner. I have, especially in the high end of homes, had people say, why would I be looking at this home? This guy isn't serious. He doesn't even have it on the market yet. Some buyers just feel uncomfortable with a for sale by owner because they feel like they're going to be spending their time and money on inspections and appraisals and all this stuff, and the other party might not be rational because usually the realtor is going to be the calming mind in the middle of the transaction. So when you do list for sale by owner, you get way fewer people looking at the home, and then the people that do look at the home, even fewer of those are actually seriously going to consider it for sale by owner. If despite all this, you would like to actually do this entire process on your own and do the for sale by owner deal, link below to how to market your home. If you don't, you know what to do. Call Castro with eXp Realty, and I will talk to you soon.